Hello, my friends. How's it going? I have a few things I want to do today. I have at least three things I want to show you. What I'm focusing on today are some porcelain plates. Maniology just released these three, and each of them features images that you would find on fine china, porcelain, ceramics, however you want to call it. I'm gonna go with porcelain just because China is a little confusing because these images are also kind of Chinese. But yeah, let's go with porcelain. Here are the three looks that I'm gonna show you today. First, we have a kintsugi style, which is a Japanese method of repairing porcelain with gold. I'm sure everybody's heard of that. We're also gonna be doing a jade look and a stoneware look. So lots of different looks that we can do. Here's the plates that were just released. We have Maniology 454, Maniology 460, and 459. I'm also going to be using a texture plate such as this one. This is Born Pretty, texture L001. And you can use really any plate that has any sort of natural looking cracks. This is an especially good one right here, I think. So I'm probably gonna be using that one. But on different nails, it would be good to have some variety instead of having the same crack on each nail. So I would recommend doing different ones. All right, I'm gonna start with the kintsugi one because it is a little more time consuming, although it is not difficult. So the first thing I did is put down a white base. The colors I'm going to be using for this manicure, actually all the products I'm going to be using for this manicure, I have Flotsam, Kraken, Sticky Black, although I think you can get away with just using regular straight up black, and a matte top coat. And I'm also going to want my smudge-free top coat and potentially my sticky base. Always have it on deck. But here's the colors we're using. And I'm also going to need to use some gold powder. I decided to use this powder pen that came with the MXM a couple months ago with the cats and books. However, you could also use a loose powder. Something like this would be very pretty. I decided to use 454 because I like the distance between the images here. I like that there's a lot of space, and that way when I put my crack in there, you'll have more places where you can actually see it as opposed to potentially getting lost in a busier pattern. So I'm just going to use this part here. I'm going to make 2 stripes and then 1 in the middle, and then just sort of gently blend them together. I'm trying to mix the colors and not make an ombre necessarily. So while this is still wet, I'm gonna stamp it on my nail. Next step, I need to put some smudge free on top to make sure my design won't smudge. Because the next thing I want to do is add a matte top coat. Okay, this has had ample time to dry. I'm going to put my matte coat on. This matte coat's a little old, sorry. It's a little chunky. All right, we'll wait for that to dry as well. Okay, this is pretty dry. So what I want to do here is be speedy. I'm gonna prep this. I have it ready. Got this ready. And my stamper, here we go. Pick up my crack here and don't be scared. Stick it right on top of there. And then dab this. Dab it everywhere there's black. And then just, if you can gently rub it in, you can use your finger or an eyeshadow brush or whatever. Just be real gentle. That's so pretty and so easy to do, and I'm kind of tempted to do it on my other pottery when I'm done with them. I mean, why not? See how they all look when they get broken. Moving on, this is another one that needs to be done in stages. I'm doing my jade vase or whatever. This is Orly Vintage, just sort of a nice jade color, so whatever you've got. And then I also have this sheer Sinful color. It's a sheer matte, turquoise. And it looks pretty different in the bottle, but that's okay. When it mixes on top of this vintage, it actually looks really close to a real jade. So this was kind of the look I'm going for. And I think it would be safe for you to just pick whatever colors are in your collection that you think match it best. But you know, there's all different colors of jade, and there's all different kinds of beautiful stone you can make stoneware out of stone. So yeah, don't be afraid to use different colors. This is just an idea. So like I said, I've just got, I think it's just one coat of Orly Vintage here. It's really all I needed. And I need to get my Bam White stamping polish. And let's see what design looks nice. I think I'm gonna go with this cloud. And because this is still wet, I'm just gonna stamp it right down there, and it should stick nicely, which it did. Smudge free. There we go. I need to wait for this to dry as well. This is pretty close to dry. I'm gonna take my Sinful Colors sheer, and you see how it changes the color, but it still looks like a really beautiful jade, turquoise jade. And you guessed it, I'm gonna let it dry. Okay, this isn't quite dry, but I'm gonna take advantage of that. So there we have a second look. This looks really good with a matte coat as well, but I think it looks good glossy because in real life these vases and things that are made of polished stone are extremely shiny. So I want to keep it shiny. But look how beautiful and sweet that is. Super pretty. Okay, our next one is this stoneware. And I definitely wouldn't classify that as China, but it's a little more like earthy colors, and I tend to think of sort of like more vintagey, like mid-century. It's vintage is a funny word now because things that I played with when I was a kid are now vintage. Or the stuff I wore in high school is now vintage, and so like when I'm thinking of vintage, I think of like stuff from the 70s and the 60s and stuff like that. So I don't even know what to call that anymore. Is that antique? I mean, anyway, I'm not that old or anything, but I just I'm realizing now when I say vintage, it kind of has a different vibe, I think, for other people who are younger than me. But anyway, blah blah blah. The base I used for this is Cirque Colors. I did put this over a white. Boy, this is nice polish. My friend gave this to me. I'm too cheap to buy like a lot of nice polishes, but this is really beautiful. You could really use any like speckled polish, and this is something I might do after this and just kind of play around with like a little more colorful version of stoneware. But any kind of like earthy speckled polish that you have, I think would be a good base. And I also wanted to play off of just these like sort of muted gray, you know, kind of earthy colors. So that's my color palette here. With a little bit of a purple leaning gray. This is Down the Chimney. This is Cirque Colors Hatch. And this is Sally Hansen Against the Gray In. And this one, honestly, is just kind of a straightforward reverse stamp. So I'll just show you how to do that. Pick up and Down the Chimney, and the reason I use this is it's just sort of a light natural color. I'm trying to think of like pottery glaze and the types of colors that a potter would sort of have available to them with this certain technique that they're using, if that makes sense. There we go. One little bird. There we go. So I want to show the other style of stamp that's on this plate, this like the negative space one. So here you can see Hatch just over the clear. So you can probably see why I chose to put the white down. This definitely looks more natural though. I don't want to forget my sticky base. So while the little image is drying, my reverse stamping is drying, I will also let this dry. It should line up. And because I am going to try another kind of just more fun stoneware with those purples. So let me prep that too. I just want to put a white base down so I can get the most out of my color. So make sure you use a lot of polish on this one. It's just going to feel like a lot, but that's just what you need. And what I can do is take my same color and color in just certain parts of this, like maybe this. This is going to be subtle, so this would be maybe one that you could be admiring up close on your own nails. Or just use a different color that's less subtle. All right, I'm gonna let that dry. These guys should be ready. Oh, my sticky base was a little dry. That's okay, we made it work. Okay. This is almost like cooking, you know, it's like all about timing. This looks especially good matte because a lot of stoneware really does have a matte finish. Oh gosh. So yeah, make sure you put a matte on the stoneware. I think that's really the right move. Let me get my purple pottery started. This could be sort of like a spring inspired. I like the dots. I'm just trying to get more of the dots on there. This is Sinful Colors. Oh, I thought that I was about to say this is Sinful Colors Avoid Mouth Contact, but no, this is Blueberry Smash, which is a much more apt color name, I mean. And the other two colors I pulled were Hex and Bluebell, and Bluebell is a new stamping polish for spring. It is super opaque. Look at this. Look at it over black and over white. It's the same. I'm just really impressed by this. There's 3 polishes in this collection, and all 3 of them are just as good. All right, I believe this is done. Yes. I'm waiting too long with my sticky base. I don't usually chit chat by myself. It's okay, you can always just go back and stick it on there. Okay, cool. I'm not sure, I like it better with the white, like with patch over the white for sure, but this has its own vibe. This probably would have been better with something a little more colorful, but I don't know. I'll put a matte coat on it and see, because it does look kind of cool. It's just subtle, I guess, like the kind of like the gray and the hatch and everything, whereas this has a little more contrast. But anywho. Okay. My thinking about using this is that it has a textured scattered hollow glitter in it, so it's a little chunky when you stamp it, which I was sort of thinking might imitate the speckliness of the base, but I'm not sure. I think I want to stamp this first and then this on top. I don't know. That's what my brain's telling me to do. That's what I'm gonna do. You're the boss. Yeah, you can barely see it. So now I'm curious what it would have looked like if I stamped that on top of this. I don't know, I'm not really digging this like glitter. I don't know. It doesn't really look chunky like I thought it would. I wonder what else I could use. How about gloom? And what if I did the leaves? Okay. Like that. That one is super, super subtle. I don't know if I'm happy with leaving the roses like super invisible, and that other, what is this called again? Gloom, like so overpowering. Okay, so this is a more colorful one. I've got Sweet Lilac by Moyu here. So these are lilacs, not roses. Try to generally line it up. I kind of would like it to be peeking through though, to be honest. I think that would be cool. Alright, like that. Yeah. That's a little more interesting. Am I crazy, or does it need like something else? Like a one more thing? I feel like it needs some white. I guess maybe this. This is from Clear Jelly Stamper. They don't have names on their polish as far as I know, so this is just 122. Something like that. Let me put some of that top coat on. Oh gosh, so pretty. This is matte top coat. I'm gonna show you what it looks like when it's matte. Sorry, I'm like in slow motion today. So here you go. Here's 5 different looks you can create with a ceramic, china, porcelain, stoneware, etc. technique, vibe, look, whatever you want to call it. here's some stuff you can make with these plates, or just any of the style, really. I think that this is probably going to be my most popular one. I'm guessing I really like the jade one, but I mean, what do you think? Which one is your favorite of all these? Or what would you have done differently? Or what do you think you will do differently? I'm curious to know. So once again, these plates are new for spring 2024. And there's lots of stuff you can do with them. I would love to see more plates with these kind of patterns on them. I just think they really lend themselves to nails. They both have that very like hard, shiny, you know, shellacked surface that's so beautiful. And you can get a lot of different vibes out of it, I think. So anyway, I hope that was helpful, and I hope you got some ideas for how to make some little masterpieces of your own. And if you have any questions about anything, as always, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're looking for a discount code for the Maniology website, it is Zen10, ZEN10. So please use it. I noticed, excuse me, that people have been using it since I started my YouTube channel, and I really, really appreciate it. It helps feed my addiction and my parrot and, you know, all that good stuff. So, you know, I get a few bucks off of there, and that makes me happy. So thank you so much if anyone has used my code. I have a couple more videos coming up. I have some unboxings. I have some clear jelly stamper plate demos. Might have a few other things here and there, not sure yet. Anyway, I hope you had a really good time watching, and until next time, bye!
One, two.